Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements to see if you have messages there. And if you're interested in a personal reading, check out the information in the description below because I am running a special for May. All right, my friends, let's get started. For Aries, we're going to jump right into the tarot today with a Celtic cross. I felt like doing that today, so we're going to get all your cards out first. Okay, so right away I'm seeing here, I'll turn the cards this way so you can see as well, but I'll hold them up, is this idea that being patient and sort of being present is challenging you right now. And it may be that what's challenging you to stay in the moment and to be in balance with sort of trusting the timing of things is this idea of looking at things from a different perspective. And that's kind of being reinforced here by the Sun in reverse. It's interesting. You may, Aries, need to try to look at things from a different perspective, and it may involve sort of being okay with some changes. There may need to be a change here, slight changes, slight modifications, different ways of looking at things, different ways of approaching things, different ways of communicating about things, because it almost feels like right now the energy around you is unfocused. It's not open. It feels like it's all over the place. And you might be sort of impatient about wanting something to happen now. And it may need time. It may need time to develop. It may need time to grow. It takes the time it takes for water to move from one cup to another. And so it's interesting. So right now, sort of your present energy in terms of the unconscious, the conscious, the present moment, and what your obstacle is, feels like you're being directed to be focused on your goal without being attached to the outcome. Because it feels like being attached to the outcome is actually what may be making you feel impatient and rushed and wanting things to happen now according to a schedule that feels like it's outside of your control to some degree here. Now, I can see that leading up to this, there have been some disappointments. You've been let down, and it feels like that may be part of this. There may be a part of you thinking to yourself, well, if it's taking this long, then it's not going to work. Or if it's taking as long as it's taking for me to see the results that I want, then perhaps I need to start over again or give up, or, nothing ever works out for me. And it could be creating this energy that is limiting you because you're not seeing what you want to see right now. And really, I feel like by shifting your perspective and being patient and trusting that things take the time that they take, and that doesn't mean we need to give up, you might sort of feel yourself lighten a little bit here instead of feeling so. It almost feels like there's an emotional heaviness, which is why I say it might help you lighten a bit. Now, moving into upcoming energy, I see that it's still there. This idea of, should I keep going or should I give up? Do I need to start from scratch? And I don't, I'm almost seeing here that you may not be wanting to work with others. You may be sort of convinced that you need to do this all on your own. When I see this Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles is making me think that upcoming energy for you may be a choice about, do I start over with something new, or do I keep walking this path that I'm on now? And I can't help but think that there's something here, Aries, that you're trying to get off the ground. You've been working on it, and I feel like you're attached to the outcome being a certain outcome. You're attached to a certain outcome, and that attachment could be sort of creating that impatience that we were saying, that attachment to a certain outcome. If you're not seeing it right now, It's like you're saying to yourself, well, then it's not going to happen. And I almost think that attitude feels like it's going to continue for a little bit. Like it's in your past energy from past moments that you maybe had given up on certain things and then maybe regretted it later because maybe you would have been so far ahead today if you hadn't. It's interesting. It's almost like you're getting this message of don't repeat past sort of frustrations where you've given up on something because it didn't move in the timing that you felt it should be moving in, or the timing that you had decided was meant it was successful. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here when I see the Sun and Temperance. And it's just a matter of maybe approaching things differently. Now, let's see. What is the sort of interesting. The energy coming through here for you with respect to how you're sitting with yourself. We see the Devil. And so what that tells me, Aries, is that right now the devil's in the details in a little bit here for you, because it feels like your tendencies to need to see things happen immediately could be something that needs attention in terms of, well, what is this experience teaching me about myself? Well, my impatience with this opportunity is showing me that I need to focus my energy and trust, instead of feeling like if I'm not in control of something with respect to timing, then it's probably not going to work out for me. You know what I mean? That might be something coming to the surface to try to guide you right now. Seeing here as how others see you is interesting. Sort of the outward manifestation of you is the Page of Swords. And that's an interesting card to receive in this context, because the Page of Swords is a messenger that brings in restless energy sometimes, so that's interesting, because I do feel that impulsive, sort of restless, unfocused energy around you right now. And when we see the Page of Swords, it's really a time where it's almost like we are an apprentice or a student who's trying to understand new things. And we learn and expand by opening ourselves up to new opportunities. And so the page is a messenger to say you might be receiving some new ideas, but will you let them in? That's the interesting thing, is that it almost feels like I was saying you just need almost like a new approach, a new perspective, a new idea, as opposed to giving up on whatever this is for you, Aries. And so seeing the Page of Swords is an interesting sort of message as a messenger, which is the Page of Swords, that a new idea could help this. And that's how the outer world is sort of seeing you. You might be seeing this as like, oh, I'm just going to give up. I'm going to start over again. This isn't working. But it's almost like other people look at this situation and say, it's almost like they just need a fresh way of looking at this. And that's reinforced here with the Hangman in reverse, with the Sun. And all of the cards in your reading are really pointing towards focusing your energy, not giving up, and sort of being open to expanding with new ideas, and not, I just hit the camera, and not sort of feeling that same hurt or let down feeling that you had in the past, where you may have given up on something too early and then maybe regretted it later, because who knows where it could have been today if you had just kept working on it. Oh, interesting. Okay. So these 4 cards serve for one message. We're looking at what you hope for and what you fear, and I think they encapsulate it perfectly. So we're seeing Ace of Pentacles and Judgment, which to me says you're really hoping for a new opportunity that's going to bring in this new way of living for you. It's almost like you're wanting this to lead to a new opportunity for you to see yourself in a different way. I feel like this could be a time where you are really hoping to understand yourself on a deeper level, knowing your own motivations, being true to yourself, and having sort of this really strong spirit, this redemption that says, I know, I understand myself, and I understand where I must go next. And I feel like that's your hope. Your hope is that you'll understand that pathway in a deeper level, and you'll sort of show up for it every day, showing up for yourself and this new venture that you're on. Now, the fears are coming through loud and clear with these two cards, which tells me that you may be overly focused on finances right now with this Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And I understand that. When we, especially if it's like a new business venture, and maybe you've changed your path away from something and towards something else, and you really want it to be successful so that you can keep going. But sometimes when we're overly focused on just the finances, we end up sitting in a space of lack because we're overly focused on this sort of almost desperate energy that says, I have to make money. I have to make money at this, as opposed to trusting that it will be successful. That can shift you into a place of fear when we're really, really focused on financial gains. And if that's the focus, you may be sitting in a place that's bringing in a lot of fear, that we see here with the Nine of Swords. A lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, which could be shifting your energy into a place of lack, which is not going to help you sort of just focus on what you're doing. You're going to end up shifting your focus to money, resources, success, and whatever those definitions that you have of success are. And, sometimes, again, that can put us in a place where we don't feel like it's already ours. We feel like we're chasing something. We feel desperate for something. And that desperate energy does not bring anything in that we desire. It just brings in what you're in alignment with. And what you're in alignment with in that space, unfortunately, is fear and anxiety and doubt and disbelief, right? And so let's see, what will the outcome of this situation for Aries be? Oh, love it. Ace of Swords is the outcome. So what that tells me for you, Aries, seeing that Ace of Swords as your outcome card is interesting, because it makes me feel like you will get a fresh perspective. You will understand your situation in a new way. And I feel like you will understand what you need to do next and how it will serve you to shift your perspective maybe away from focusing on just money or just the definition of success, just the financial aspects of things, towards maybe more purpose. And it may involve a lot of change. We have that Knight of Swords, and on the bottom of the deck, we're seeing the Tower. And so, Aries, what this makes me feel for you is this idea that there is something here that's not serving you. And it may be a structure in your life, or it could be your own beliefs. And seeing the Ace of Swords is always an indication to me of stepping into the truth. And so is the Tower, because these lightning bolts to me represent the truth coming in and tearing down something that no longer is in alignment with your highest good. It's no longer in alignment with you, and so it's got to go. And this can suggest that you are going to experience something in the way of a big shift. A big change is coming for you. And when I see that Tower card on the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Swords sort of as your outcome card, I can't help but think that this situation is going to turn around for you. And it's going to turn around from this new idea, right? This new idea that is being hinted at here in the Page of Swords and in the Knight of Swords is coming through very clearly in this Ace of Swords, where there's almost like this aha moment that allows you to reach a new level of awareness that leads to your success. It's almost like a stroke of genius, an aha moment, a moment of clarity that appears, that allows you to experience something here very, very clarifying, very, very clarifying. It's like a new way of looking at this situation that is life-changing. And I feel like that life-changing energy is being sort of brought through on the card on the bottom of the deck, which is the Tower. So it's a very interesting reading for you this week, Aries. I want to pull one oracle card just to see the overall energy for you on this. Oh, that one wanted to come out. Never-ending story. Isn't that interesting? So that's why the Devil's here. That's why you need a new way of looking at things. That's why this whole reading has sort of been centered on what your focus is and bringing in a new way of looking at things, because this never-ending story card is really one that suggests we're being too critical about a situation. And by being too critical about it, it's not moving forward in the way we desire. In fact, if anything, it could be standing still in some ways and not moving at all, which is causing some fear and some doubt. But it feels like by removing this self-criticism, by removing this never-ending story of sort of feeling limited and being very sort of critical, really is the word, as opposed to allowing things to be more in your awareness and allow for inspiration. This squishes inspiration, because when we're critical, we just think, well, I'm just going to give up then. This isn't going to work. And we make really impulsive decisions about things because of this sort of fear energy, or this critical energy, or this energy that says, if it's not working out right now, then it's never going to work out. Aries, what an interesting reading for you this week. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. I'm sending you so much love. Take care.